You will not have money to fuel finance if you do not have values to live. Out of their busy schedule, have joined in to listen to what I have to say and to also give their contributions. Thank you so much. Thank you once again. I do not take this privilege for granted. Our Father in the Lord, Mr. Okoyemi Oyeni. All right, so first of all, I would like to give a disclaimer that I'm not sitting on this side of being a guest as someone who knows it all. I've just been privileged to share my thoughts, my opinion about this. So I appreciate everybody. Please kindly listen to me and contribute. It's going to be an interactive session. So one man in Oyo State, Ibadan to be precise, sat down someday and said, I want young men, I want men to do better. And I'm going to put up a show, I'm going to put up a talk show, I'm going to put up a meeting, a session where we talk about what real men regard as real success. And that's why I'm here. So real men, real success, according to the topic, I would like us to first of all, explain what I consider to be real men. What I think should be in the mind of an average young man as what is called a real man. So a real man, in my words, perhaps you might not see this in the dictionary, don't bother to search Google for it, but this is my definition of a real man. Before we talk about real success, since the topic refers to a real man is a man that is living in the consciousness of his purpose, of his assignment, of his duties, and is working to ensure that they live up to this. It's not just living in the consciousness of this alone, but they are working to ensure that they live up to fulfilling and achieving this purpose, assignment, and duties, while they exude excellent virtues. Excellent virtues. So it's very possible for someone to have an assignment to leave this thing from this place to another place, to have an assignment to transform an organization, for instance, to have an assignment, but you're not doing it with excellent virtues. And excellent virtues in this term refers to the strength of character. According to a philosopher, Courtney Ackerman, she, in one of her books, I would like to take a cue from her book. She summarized what is the expected virtue that can bring strength of character into 6 things. And I will use these 6 things to explain what I consider to be a real man. She referred to the virtue of wisdom and knowledge. Talking about the strength of character that I mentioned that real men exude while they achieve their purpose, while they achieve their assignment and they carry out their duties, while they live in the consciousness of this purpose, assignment, and duties, the virtue of wisdom and knowledge takes its first place. So when you see a man that is creative, when you see the man talk with utmost wisdom, when you see a man, you say, this is a fantastic man. I love this man. Now, and we can easily regard that person as a real man. So the first virtue that brings strength of character is the virtue of wisdom and knowledge. So a man who has this virtue, a man who has the second virtue of courage. If permit me to intercept what I'm trying to say by asking Mr. Okwe, or let me pick Engineer Obina KK, for instance. Ejina Okeke Obina, please, can you unmute your mic? I want to ask you a question. If you see me run from rats, perhaps you saw me somewhere, you came to my house and you saw that I was running away from a rat, or I was running away from a snake, would you regard me to be a man?
No.
All right. Thank you for answering. All right. So courage, a virtue. It does. I'm not trying to say that what makes a man is someone who runs away from rats or not, but I'm saying this virtue of courage breeds the strength of character of bravery, breeds the strength of character of persistence, breeds the strength of character of integrity. Now, this virtue of courage. Now, people who carries this virtue are strong men. Now, the third virtue, we're still going to probably refer back to these virtues when we dwell more about the strength of character, is humanity. Any man that does not have humanity in him is not a man. Agree with me. So humanity as a virtue in us will make me see the other person as I'm seeing myself, will make me to live by the golden rule that says that do to others what you want to be done to yourself. In the virtue of humanity is the strength of character for love, strength of character for kindness, strength of character for social intelligence, strength of character for emotional intelligence. That's where you find it. Now, these are the things that make up a real man. So in a real man, you'll find the virtue of justice, the desire, the strength of character of leadership, fairness, and equity is found in the virtue of justice. These things make up a real man. And the fifth one is moderation, and temperance. Moderation and temperance as a virtue, when it's being focused on, gives a strength of character for self-control, for humility, for prudence, for forgiveness. Like I often tell young people that I'm still a young man. Let me use the word younger people before Mr. Okwe will think that I'm an elderly man. All right, so I'm still a very young man. But I used to tell younger people that forget all the motivations you see. Love, do this, be kind to people. People are going to genuinely hurt you. You are going to have valid hurts in the course of your life. So real men are people who they've grown strength for forgiveness. They've grown strength, they've developed the strength of character for forgiveness because they have a virtue of moderation. I just cannot go haywire because somebody hurt me. All right, we'll talk about the last one, and this is the virtue of transcendence. In this virtue, you have the appreciation of beauty, gratitude, hope, and optimism. And would you agree with me that according to research, one of the things that our opposite gender, I don't know if any of them is watching, one of the virtues, one of the things that the opposite gender look forward in a man, that make them call a man a gentleman, is humor, is a strength of character, ability to bring this, is to carry this virtue. So simply put, to save you all my long grammars, I have seen that when you see a man who is living in the consciousness of his purpose, assignment, and duties, and is working towards achieving this while they exhibit these virtues and strength of characters we've talked about, now you have a real man, directly or indirectly. A real man should not be confused for fame, a famous man. A real man should not be confused for a rich and wealthy man. A real man should not be confused for a man that is living in luxury. The realness that a man has is in the strength of his character, while he lives consciously in the the knowledge of this purpose, the reason why the person is existing, and this person's assignment, and as well as your obligatory task. And in your obligatory task, you know, you have, we all have different things that we are obligated to do. We are responsible for our families, the family we are formed. If you're married as a man, if you are not married, the family you are going to form, and the family you come from, you are responsible at this other part. And also you're responsible for your immediate environment, the space wherein you have found yourself, your obligatory task to this place, the reason why you are in this place, the reason why you are where you are, in the little confinement, in the little space where you find yourself, in your area of influence. This consciousness of how you live in those places, the reason why you are there, the assignments that you are doing to achieve them, and your duties. When we live up to these responsibilities and these tasks, I consider the person a real man. It has nothing to do with whether you work in the best place ever. It has nothing to do with whether you are famous. It has nothing to do with whether you are rich or whether you are poor, but it has something to do with you fulfilling your purpose, with you carrying out your assignment diligently, and with you, on the other hand, doing your duties and obligatory tasks excellently well. That's a real man. So now, let's talk about real success. Before we talk about real success, you agree with me that success, perhaps, I don't know, should I say success is the real focus, but we just need to qualify success with real. What is real? What is success in itself? Simply put, sincere apologies, and I'm not going to blow big grammars. I just like to take it easy. Achieving your aim or your purpose is success. When you achieve the aim and the purpose for a thing, you're successful. It has nothing to do with whether you are the MD CEO, with whether you are with whether you are up or you are down, whether you are known, whether your face is on a flyer. Don't mind Mr. Okwe. He decided to put my face on a flyer. It has nothing to do with whether you are famous or whether you are rich or whether you're poor, whether you are married. It has something to do with you fulfilling the reason why you are existing. And the other time I was explaining real men, I was trying to explain to us that these people, they have a reason in their own particular sphere of influence, whether to the world and either to their family, their workplace, whatever. So we cannot measure success if purpose is not in view. There's no way we are going to measure if I'm successful if a clearly divine reason or a clearly divine objective is not in view. So real success has nothing to do with that, and it's now going to make me to go back to our objective. Why am I here as a man? Why don't I have the pudendas that the opposite genders have? Why am I a man? The reason why you are a man is what will define the real success. So real success might be is relative, definitely, of course, because our purposes are different, are peculiar to each other. So what is success for Mr. Okwe is not success for me, because the reason for Mr. Okwe's existence, because Mr. Okwe's assignment, because engineer Okeke's assignment, because Mr. Olaide's assignment is different from mine. So what is success for Mr. Okwe cannot be success for me. That is why it is wrong for me to measure my life with other people, because what is success for me is not even success for my twin brother. I'm not a twin anyway. The reason why I'm created, the reason why I'm existing, the assignment that makes up my person, and the duties that's been assigned to me. That's why you see, even in an organization, for instance, everybody have different success. What is success to somebody? What is success to, let me use this analogy to explain what I'm trying to say. What is success to a man whose duty is to ensure that there is light is different from what is success to someone whose duty is to go and collect the money for the light. I'm using this analogy because I work in the power industry. And let me use this same example for the telecom industry, for instance. It is somebody's duty to ensure that you always have network. It is not his business whether you buy, whether you subscribe. It is somebody else. So the fact that we're existing in the same place does not mean that the measure of our success will be the same. So what is success to me is not success to you. And real success is me achieving the reason for my existence. It will be a waste of time to think that we're existing just like that. Sincere apologies if my opinion is contrary to your opinion, but I believe there's a supreme being that has created us into this world and has called us to different purpose and assignments. Purpose is not a religious thing, it's just natural. I'm going to give you examples according to, I'll just give you a few examples because of time, according to what is happening. One of my favorite examples for purpose always is not a pastor, is not an afa, is not an imam. So definitely you see, I'm not talking from a religious perspective. I'm talking from a reality perspective. His name is Brian Stevenson. He's an American lawyer that is born with a passion for the poor and also for biased justice system that run in America for the vulnerable, particularly the Black people. He went to school to study, graduated from Harvard Law School, having his JD, and he's still, you can Google him after this session. When he finished law school, he took up pro bono cases, like they call it in law. And his aim was to deliver people that has been wrongfully served justice, people that have been served injustice. His own assignment, based on his desire, he figured it out, was to set people free from captive that have been wrongfully put in captive. That was his own primary assignment. For instance, we cannot measure Mr. Brian Stevenson's success as the money that he has, because even as a lawyer, he takes up pro bono cases. He has a very big law firm in the US, and he was renowned for the role that he played in the story of Walter Macmillan, who was wrongfully convicted for murder and sentenced to death. He was on death row. The assignment of this man, if you read his biography, he did for so many other persons. He just knew these things stood him out. Somebody just knew that I'm made for more. There is something that is running in this thing that can revolutionize the world. If cars can run on petrol, for instance, then we can also use alternative energy to make cars to run. These are examples. We have Mama Abegunde, the woman who has she committed her life before she died to helping orphans and people, children that are abandoned. Of course, I used to call him my father, Pastor Kingsley Okonkwo. I hope to meet him someday. He's committed to ensuring that young people do not make marriage mistakes. Now, for me to measure my success, what is my reason in filling this space? The world at large and in my current environment of influence. That is what will make me measure real success. Why am I here? Many times you're in the same world, you're going to get frustrated. In the same world, you're going to be hurt. In the same world, you're going to face a lot of things. But there's a reason why you are still here breathing. The reason why you are still breathing, that you are responsible to discover, is what will be used to measure what is your real success, and not the amount of I'm not saying it is wrong to have wealth, it's wrong to have cars. I'm not saying it is very good to have all those things. It is very good to live in peace, in luxury, but your having luxury in itself is not success. What is success is the fulfillment of the reason why you are here. That is why some lawyers will take up pro bono cases. They are not doing it for money. They are taking up cases not to make money. They are taking up cases to feed what they have considered an hunger birthed by the realization of their purpose. There's another man that is renowned. I think he won a medal in the US. There's this national honor they give to them. His name is Desmond Doss. Desmond Doss is a Christian, belongs to one of the Christian society that do not believe in carrying firearms. And at the time, he needed to join the army because of what was actually a real life story. Desmond Doss, as a soldier, joined the infantry, became a soldier, and he never carried firearm. But he knew that he had a place in that place. He was recognized for his outstanding performance and outstanding display of humanity by saving so many people from a particular war that broke out. Discovering the reason why you are existing. It might look so hard, but really it's not really hard. But discovering the reason why you are existing. Now, to the world, when I say to the world, of course, I'm not asking you to walk up the street of Bodija in Ibadan, or to go to Allen Avenue in Lagos, or to go to Rumola here in Port Harcourt. I'm saying in that place where you have influence, in your workplace, in your church. Why are you in your church? The thing that is real success is you fulfilling the purpose why God, the supreme being, has kept you in that seat where you are. What measures your real success is the fulfillment of the assignment that has been placed in your hands. What measures your real success is your ability to live up to your duties. I would like to take a cue from the scriptures. Some times ago, one of the apostles in the Bible, sincere apologies if you're not a Christian, but you can learn from this story. He wrote a letter to somebody that was his protege, and he told him in 1 Timothy chapter 5, verse 8, he said, anybody who does not work, who does not take care of his relative, that person is worse than an unbeliever. Your duties are metrics for success. How do you attend to your duties? Your duty to provide for the family, like I earlier said the other time, the family you come from, and the family that you are formed, or the family you are going to form. Your duty to these people, your responsibility, you're taking up responsibility for these things, for these persons, is also a measure for your success. So this is real success. Real success is nothing compared. You might not even be famous. You don't have to be famous. There are 1,001 successful people out there that they are not measured. And if you are going to agree with me, the people that the world even really celebrate as success are people that are living up to this. They have found something. Michel Elegbe, I don't know if I pronounce his name very well. He's an electronics engineer like me, graduated from University of Benin, traveled abroad someday. For the first time, he saw an ATM machine. And the ATM machine, like the Nigerian will say, the ATM machine swallowed his card. And he couldn't withdraw money. According to his story, he now thought to himself, wait, if I go back to Nigeria, there's a way we can, actually do money. We can do money transaction without physically going to the bank, and he came to Nigeria to form InterSwitch, the InterSwitch you have today. People who carry a consciousness of purpose, and this thing is not one-off. It's going to keep coming because you are going to be evolving. You are going to be in, there was a time I was in Lagos. There was a time in my life I was in Ado-Ekiti. There was a time in my life I went back to Lagos. See, each time that I'm moving according to the course of my life, I have duties, I have responsibilities, I have assignments, I have reasons for being there. Now, when I fulfill, when I live up to these reasons, then I'm successful. Success is not a measure. So while I'm doing this, the people who we think are successful, the Razak Okoyas, the Tony Elumelu, the Dangotes and the Femi Otedolas, these people who have made wealth, they've made a name for themselves in whatever industry they found themselves. Some people are not so wealthy, but they've made a name for themselves. Are people who have found the reason why they have what they have. There's a reason why you're analytical. There's a reason why you have the gift that you have. Some things that you find very easy to do. There's a reason why you have this strength. Now, I'm going to also go to this. There's a reason why you have some opportunities. There's a reason why some opportunities will come across your way. There's a reason why you are going to have some access. There's a reason why each time you live up to fulfilling the reason for these things, then that is real success. That is when you achieve real success. Real success is not achieved by having all the money, by having by going, I don't want to be judgmental, but the real success for real men that we have divine. And of course, there's no way you're going to have this real success if you are not conscious of your purpose in the first place. If you are not conscious of your assignment in the first place. So the people that have ended up being famous, most of them, I wouldn't say all of them, some people are cloud chasers, but most of them have ended up being famous in the course of chasing their purpose. In the course of making, now the simple definition I like the simple definition of things. So perhaps you have had, one of my first posts on Facebook is that many of us, we use different grammars that we don't know the meaning. So perhaps you've been hearing the word engineering. Let me give you the simple definition for engineering. Engineering is, simply put, is the application of science and technology for the betterment of mankind. So people who work towards making things better for mankind. Mankind, like I've defined, you don't have to start from, before you speak to 1,000 persons, perhaps you need to first of all communicate. Before you communicate to 1,000 persons, you need to first of all have communicated to one person. If you have communicated to 2 persons, you have communicated to 3 persons, you have communicated to 4 persons, then gradually you can communicate to 100 persons. The same way it applies. So in this little space where you are, in that little office, in that little profession, in that little business, in your school where you are, wherever it is that you find yourself at this time, the opportunities that's presented itself to you, when you live up to achieving the purpose why these things have come your way, then you are successful. So my relationship, for instance, with Mr. Okwe is not successful if I am not achieving the reason why I've met Mr. Okwe. So success is not measured by those outer things. While it is measured by these little things, they look very latent, it produces results for the world to see. It produces results for the world to see. And it starts from my little space. So the encouragement for real men is, if you're not one, how can you be? Just focus on these virtues that we've talked about. All right, so now that I've talked about I've been able to, I hope, can you all hear me?
Very well.
All right. So now I've been able to talk about real men and what real success is. Before I welcome questions, you can ask your question. If you have questions, you can ask your questions in the chat box. Is the whale? I call it the whale. If I am not one, because before you can have real success, you have to be a real man. There is no way for you that you will be a real man and you not have real success. Because as we have divined, you are going to be living in the consciousness of the purpose. You are going to be living in the consciousness of your assignments. You are going to be living in the consciousness of your duties. You would agree with me that even the secular world, an average person that has never attended this kind of session, will say a man that doesn't take care of his children is irresponsible. So when you see that kind of man, Mr. Olowere, sincere apologies if I do not call it well, Olakunle, please can you unmute your mic and just affirm what I want to say? Now, if a man gives birth to a child and doesn't take care of the child, is not, doesn't care about them, that person is not regarded as a man. Now, in the three metrics that will measure your purpose, your assignment, and your duties, anybody who does not, any man who does not live up to their obligatory task as sons, obligatory task as son-in-laws, obligatory task as brother-in-laws, obligatory task as husbands, obligatory task as friends, obligatory task as anything that makes up the composition of what a man is. That person is not a man. Do you agree with me, Mr. Olakunle, that such man who does not take care of his child?
Thank you. I'm with you.
What do you say?
I'm very grateful. I can hear you very clearly, and the truth is very impactful. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right. So it's very impactful. I attest to that, as I say.
All
so
right.
Thank you very much
you
for that.
All right. So if you are not living up to your task, if you are not living up to your assignment, if you are not living up to your reason for existence, purpose is not a religious thing. So when you hear the word purpose, don't say, oh, all these church people have come again, all these affairs, all these most people are doing. Purpose is human existence. How can a supreme being call God? How can a supreme being call God create you and dump you in this space without a reason? There's a reason why you are where you are. And when you are conscious of this, now, I'll just talk about this before we talk about, before we take questions. So the 4 things I think that can help us become realer men, if we're already real men, or to help us become real men if we're not, is discover your reason for existence. Discover your reason for existence. There are 4 Ds, and the first D is discover the reason for existence. The reason for existing in your current space. You know, we're talking about real men, real success. There's a reason why you're existing in your current space. There's a reason why you are feeling that position. I talked about that before now. Discover the reason for your existence in your current space. Discover the reason for your existence in your future space, in your prospective space. There is a place I want to go to. So how I can become a real man as an unmarried man is to discover what would be my reason for existing in my married state. When I'm married, that is how to become a better man. So discover the reason for your existence. There's a reason why you're occupying the space you are. There's a reason why you're alive. There's a reason why you are dark in complexion. And if you're bad-headed like me, there's also a reason for it. So we discover the reason for it. So I discovered the reason why I'm bad-headed, for instance. This on the lighter mode is that I should always barb my Afari Kolodo Okoyalamala. It's always about this. It makes me nicer, look nicer. That was just like there's a reason to discover the reason for existence. Number two, do your assignment well. We are talking about success. And we say you cannot have real success if you are not a real man. So even the success that transcends into affluence, even the success that is recognized by abundance of finances and wealth to play with, even the success that makes us richer than our financial responsibilities, they are a function of you doing a particular assignment well. The assignment that is committed into your hands, sir, are you doing it well? The assignment that you have when nobody is watching, the assignment you have when the whole world is watching, are you doing it well? So to be a real man that will have real success, you have to first of all discover the reason for existence. Number two, in my words, I say you should do your assignment well. Do it excellently. Nobody has to be watching. The assignment that nobody is watching, do it as if someone is watching. So it is so good to talk about, we talk about you should do this, aspire to aspire. I'm not a big fan though, but all those things, if you do not do your assignment well, you are not going to have real success. The assignment that is committed to your hands, do it excellently well. Oh, you need to, your work is to sweep it well. If you need to give a report, do it well. Even if it is a younger person that is requiring the thing from you, do it very well. That is how to be a real man. To be a real man is not to be muscular. Of course, I've seen people with pot belly doing excellently well. Who told you that Razak Okoya has 6 packs? Do you know who is Mike Adenuga? He doesn't have 6 packs. But because of him, a lot of people are employed in this world, in this Nigeria. Because of him, a lot of people have jobs, even globally, because the companies that sell their softwares and all those things depend on the initiative of that big man. So it is not a muscular thing. Do your assignment well, sir. It is not, I'm not saying it is wrong to build apps. I'm not saying it's wrong to have, I'm not saying it's wrong, but do your assignments well. When you do your assignments well, you are sure of your success. Number 3 is discharge your duties well. We all have duties. We have duties to our neighbors. We have duties to our superiors. We have duties to our lecturers if we are students. We have whatever it is your duty, discharge it well. Do your duties well. Duties are not assignments. They are different things. Discharge your duties well. These things are obligatory tasks for you to do. Now, I would like to say something about the assignment that I mentioned earlier, because you agree with me that, I don't know the person's name, but Mr. iPhone, you agree with me. Your name is showing iPhone here. I know you are not iPhone. Sincere apologies. Mr. iPhone, you agree with me that at the end of every assignment, you get a mark for it. You get a reward for it. So, how well you do your assignment is how much mark you will literally get. So when we do our assignments very well, assignment is going to come to us in the course of our life. We're going to have to chase jobs. You're going to have something to do with your hands that will bring income to you. While you are doing all these things, when you do it well, you are going to get good mark for it. It might not be instant, but over a period of time, you are going to get good reward for it. And in organizations, and of course in school system, everybody here went to primary school. Some of us here are scholars. We took first position. I know some people here. I've seen somebody I know here is Iwe permutation book when we were in secondary school. is a very, we have seen people that are very brilliant. Now, they are the one that get the prize. The same thing in the normal day-to-day activities. You are going to get the money. We are going to get, when we do our assignments well, we will get excellent prize for them. And the fourth one is develop. I'm now going to, I would like to, I hope, Mr. Okpa, I hope I'm not taking so much time. So develop your strength, your character strength. Develop your character strength. See, it's very, very important that we talk about this. See, the people they call gentlemen, I was saying something the other time about the point I gave for humor, developing the strength of character for humor. In when I explained transducence is even in the secular world. When a man is funny, the person is recognized as a gentleman. The female gender are attracted to funny people, and it is not everybody that can be funny. It's not everybody that is funny, even though we all can be. All right. Even though we all can be. So the last one is develop your character strength. Your strength of character, gratitude, integrity, spirituality. We cannot overemphasize this. Spirituality. Think about all the spiritual figureheads in the world. There is no female among them that I know of. Among all the prominent religions in the world, Buddhism, whatever, mention their names, and the prophets in the Quran, the prophets in the Bible. We have prophetess in the Bible, but the figureheads, we have Jesus Christ for Christians, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam for the Muslims. They are all men developing character strength. While we develop the transcendence virtue, we pay attention to spirituality, we pay attention to moderation, we pay attention to developing the strength of character of forgiveness and mercy. We develop, and you will agree with me, places where we have chaos in this world are places where we have the deficiency of this strength of character. Why can't I forgive the other nation? Why can't I let go? Why can't I control myself? When we do not attend to these things, we are not living up to being real men. I hope with these few points of mine, I've been able to convince you, and not convince you, what it means to be a real man,